Area.
Yeah.
It's got a holster too.
That is being kind. All the other guns are real.
Let's I'm looking.
AMA questions?
Yeah, I'm looking through them here. I'm trying to find some good ones.
Hypothetical situation. In the future, America enters a massive world war. Your 18-year-old child is call drafted. Drafted would work. If they are healthy enough for military service but don't want to go at all, what do? Tell them to serve their country? Help them make a medical excuse? Maybe send them off to Canada? Well, I mean, if you love the kid, you wouldn't send them to Canada, clearly.
Yeah, of course not. No. I mean, I'm not sending them to Canada. Out of the question. Medical excuse, they're pretty stringent with that. So you're not going to be like, oh, he gets nervous on planes, and they're going to be like, oh, well, we don't want him over there.
Is it?
Like, they're calling in the draft.
They're really.
They need
They're
any
not
and all.
though. If there's small things wrong with you, they won't take you. Like my dad has 1 foot bigger than the other, and they wouldn't take him in Nam.
They won't take people for like flat feet, stuff like
Yeah,
that. But
flat
that's stuff
feet.
that like you don't make an excuse for. It's like they call
Right.
you in,
And
then
you can't
they're
really
like, okay,
replicate it either.
Back knee
it's
was
like,
one.
okay, you're disqualified from further evaluation. Thanks for coming.
People who have back
take a
knee?
goodie bag on the way out.
Always-
But yeah, there's nothing you can do. You
Back-
got to send them. It'd be
Is that a
awful, but you'd
legit
have
one?
to.
Back knee?
Yeah,
Is
I'm
that
trying
one?
to get it in, but yeah, if you
Oh.
got the back knee stuff going on, you don't have to serve.
Yeah.
You can't get in.
Mm.
So
True crossbite. Yeah, a lot of other stuff.
I don't know. Is that a true one?
No.
We need perfect specimens to be killed. All right, come on now.
If my kid really didn't want to serve and there was a massive world war,
Yeah,
I don't think anyone's kid would want to. Otherwise, they wouldn't have to be called in by the draft. They would already be there. You know?
It depends. During all those big, like, we need to call in the draft times, everyone gets really patriotic and wants to sign up and fight and shit like that.
that's true. That's what I was going to say. Like, I know in World War II, I wasn't alive yet in reality, but it was like a thing. Like, everyone just assumed they were going, wanted to go, figured they would go. In all the high schools, like gym classes, they were like prepping for army boot camp and stuff like that. It was a normal thing.
Mm-hmm.
What you looking at, Kyle?
You.
No, you're not. I'm straight. We're side by side. So you're looking
We're-
the right way, but you need to look horizontally.
Side by side.
There? You're
Perfect. That's me. Here.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
All right, then.
So what would you do? Would you actually...
I
I know
think-
that it'd be a patriotic time, but would you send your kid with like well wishes, or would you try and come up with something?
I think I'd try to come up with a non-violent role in there. Like, how can I help my kid have an IT role? Like information technology. How can we get them in? I was gonna say Army Reserves. Like, that's what George Bush did. The recent one, the president. He flew jets around Texas and stuff, and never had to really serve. That was like his way of draft dodging. Yeah.
Sounds like an awesome time flying jets around Texas during the war.
It's nice when your dad's like a senator or a VP or whatever he was at the time. But yeah, his father was very powerful politically, and he didn't have to really serve. That's what I try and do. I try and keep them out of danger. But I don't think I'd do the whole draft dodger thing. And there are some roles, they talk about how dangerous the military is, and obviously it is. But like, if you go to the Iraq War, I'm pretty sure it was more dangerous to be a lumberjack than an Iraq War soldier.
Really? Well, that's not surprising. I imagine being a
They
lumberjack
still
is
come
incredibly
out-
dangerous.
But it might not be dangerous, but a lot of those people still come out with like PTSD and other fucked up shit too, just
That's
for
true.
being there.
And that's not a joke. Like that.
No.
Yeah. But like,
Yeah, lumberjacks aren't getting that. They don't walk into a forest and melt down. Like,
that's true. What was I going to say? So during the last war, I was into off-roading a lot, and a lot of the people who were into that were also in the military. And these guys made a big deal out of their service. Like, they were so brave and they were so grown up and they've seen some shit. But what they did is they fixed helicopters, and nobody was really hurt. And they used to steal helicopter parts for their trucks all the time, which I didn't really respect. So,
No.
yeah. Also, like here's the deal. Like, this part would cost you like $90, so it's expensive. But the U.S. military is paying like $1,000 for it, so they steal it. And it's like, fuck, man. But anyway.
Assume that
dodge.
they have to go into a combat scenario. Like, they don't get tech stuff, so they can't go into that. The Air Force says, no, you're not good enough to come in here. It's my understanding that it's more difficult to get into the Air Force than the other branches. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. Like, so they're going to be infantry or Marines or something like that. Like, what would you do then, knowing that they'd go into combat?
Knowing that they're they're in the most dangerous role, because you're like, combat. All right, can we get them in the Navy? I think the survival rate on that might be quite high, but let's assume they're literally going to be the guy in the swamp with the AR-15 over their M16 over their head.
Draft dodge. My kids would have dual citizenship, so I can leave.
And he doesn't want to do it. I don't know. That's a really tough one to me.
If he asked you to break his arm, like right now, so he doesn't have to go, would you do it without hesitation? Or like smash it? I guess you'd have to cut off a finger, really.
That'd be really hard on me to do that.
Yeah. The other option is you're never going to see your kid for at least 4 to 6 years or something, and he might die during that time period as well. Cut a finger off?
It's hard on me because we're literally talking about
that.
like Colin, right? Now I guess Colin probably wouldn't get drafted. He's got his own issues, but like a hypothetical draft worthy Colin, he is so sweet. He is really, really nice. He's not built
This
for
is
war.
Todd. This is the third kid that would have been in line next to carry your name into war. You don't know Todd. Todd's just an average kid that you.
If we're being honest, Todd's a bit of a dick.
Todd's a shithead. Send him.
Maybe Todd needs to grow up a little and we send him. But like, just pretending there's like a version of Colin that speaks and hears just fine. Then he's not built for war, man. That kid is too sweet. He likes everyone.
Well, he's not in ballet, so you can take off a pinky toe.
They probably would get you in trouble for that. Like, if they were inspecting him, they're like, oh, there's a very clean... Did you fall on a boat cutter and then fall onto the handle of it? Whoa! Like, they would probably send you to jail or something for intentionally dodging.
Well, let's be real.
out
It's
of
not
the
going to be like, here's the draft. You have to show up tomorrow. You'd have a couple days to heal, and they wouldn't really know.
You swallow gum wrappers. You give yourself a stomach ulcer, and then you're done.
No, you don't.
That sounds way worse than losing a pinky toe, which is worse.
You could always just attack a shark. Then you won't have to worry about the battle.
Let them know you're busy in your shark escapades. Oh, you've got bigger things to deal with.
My
Mr.
thing was
Myers.
totally better. You keep all your pieces. You get a stomach ulcer, which heals eventually, and you're fine.
Yeah, if nothing goes wrong.
Nothing's gonna go wrong. Don't be a pussy. You want me to cut your toe off?
Tinfoil.
Yeah.
You can eat a little tinfoil.
Not enough to give you want to give yourself you always thread the line with danger. Like I need to get a stomach
You
ulcer
want
bad
to
enough
cut
to
off
not
my
draft.
fucking toe.
We're
Chip.
done. We're done at pinky toe. All right. Not I've just torn the lining of my stomach and now I'm bleeding into my fucking intestines.
That heals up.
I don't know which toe is the best one to lose. I suspect it's not pinky.
It's
probably
not
a middle
pinky.
one.
It's
Maybe
probably
a middle toe.
the second one to the pinky or whatever because you're gonna lose your balance with the
Yeah, that
toe.
is a
But-
shit tier toe.
But the pinky toe is the one they will not take you because you lose your balance with it.
Get your feet off the screen. So, or big toe. That would be. If
Oh,
you lose your
no, you
big
can't
toe,
lose
isn't
the
it
big
incredibly hard to walk?
You can't lose the big toe.
Or is that
You might
like
as
a-
well
You
cut
really
off-
need the big toe.
You might as well cut off the foot.
Kyle,
if you're
can we
gonna cut off
see
the big
your
toe.
incredibly hairy caveman feet?
All right.
No.
Now, to be fair, his feet are not incredibly hairy.
Oh,
I
yes,
saw him
they
again
are.
up close. That's a normal man's foot right there.
I don't know. I feel like the camera's not really capturing the full
I
hairy
saw it in
essence.
person.
He has
No,
inch-long
it's-
toe hairs.
He does have very long toe hairs, but they're kind of sparse.
He just has dark hair. He has dark hair.
I just feel like the camera's not capturing the essence of his cave toes.
Everyone's got their fill. You can put it down. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like myself, Chiz, and Kyle, we can't even begin to answer this honestly because we don't have children. So we
Oh
don't
yeah,
get it.
yeah. If
I
the kid
think
really
I'd-
wants me to hurt him, I'll hurt him.
I think I'd send him. I think I'd send him in there.
Damn.
And because I don't think that the alternatives are better.
What if they're fighting aliens though?
Then I'll go. I'm gonna
Give
be
me
a part of that.
blaster.
Yeah.
All right, what's
Yeah,
the next
I guess
question?
you'd have to
'Cause
say-
I'm-
Edge of Tomorrow aliens. There you go.
Oh, that'd be sick.
That'd be sick.
What would you change